What's going on, people? I want to touch on a topic, man, that I hadn't really seen on YouTube or even across the internet. I'm sure that there's probably a few people that probably mentioned it here or there, but nobody really spoke on a topic of curses, man, like where um, young people, primarily young black males and females, fall into the curse of other people. See, one thing that I've learned throughout life is that whoever the Lord blesses is blessed. So if a person is blessed, there's no way that anyone can curse them, regardless of how much voodoo or hoodoo or Santeria that you try to use against an individual that you felt done something wrong to you, or you felt like you could control. You cannot curse a person that's blessed. But yet, whom the Lord curses is cursed. And there's no way that you can break that curse. I know that there's a lot of people out there that have a good heart. They mean well. You meet a young lady or you meet a young man, and they seem to be down on their luck. So they ask you for help. They come to you for help. And with the kindness and the goodness of your heart, you try to help them. You ever see situations where a young lady is doing well for herself? She's got a pretty decent paying job. She's got her own home or even an apartment. She's got her own vehicle. She's not in want of anything. She's got a bank account. But then she meets this dude that she likes. And he may appear to her to have potential in life. He may even be skilled in certain areas: carpentry, electronics, or what have you. He becomes somewhat of a handyman to her. In return, she helps him or attempts to help him to get on his feet. In attempting to help him to get on his feet, she started noticing that the quality of her life began to start fading. It started deteriorating. Her bank account is now depleted. She allows him to use her vehicle. Her car now is starting to have problems that she really can't afford to fix. She get no help from him because, for whatever reason, although he appeared to have skills, and although he appeared to be a handyman to her, it's difficult for him to find work, either because of whatever reason. He could have maybe a criminal past, because a lot of black females, for some reason, love the bad boy. They love the thug. But then the quality of her life began to start deteriorating. Her bank account is depleting. Now there's problems with her house or her apartment. It's hard for her to keep up with the expenses and pay the bills. She's hard on her luck now, and the curses that's upon him is now starting to drag her down. But yet she's not aware of the fact that he's cursed, because she's so caught up into him and maybe how he makes her feel physically that she ignored the signs of him being a curse. And there's signs that people are cursed at times, especially when you find that they start cursing the Most High. They don't believe in God. They curse the Bible. It seems that they begin to fall into this rage or tantrum when you speak about God or the Bible or anything righteous. And if you look at their lifestyle, the things that they support are things that are in opposition against righteousness and doing the right things. That right there is a dead giveaway that this person may potentially be cursed, especially if they're into ancestral religion, especially if they're into tarot cards and witchcraft and hoodoo, and they feel that, oh, because our ancestors practiced this, we too can practice this. But yet you fail to realize that the so-called black people went into captivity. Israel went into captivity because of the damnable things that they did. Because their damnable practices made them an enemy of the Most High. And you can read in the scriptures yourself, whether you believe in it or not, that Israel was cursed. Cursed be Canaan, for he shall be servant of servants. And if you look at the so-called black Americans' lives, since they've been here in North America, even in 2020, black people are still struggling. For the most part, black people are still on the bottom. There's a reason because of that. And if you listen to the average black person, they curse the church, they curse the Most High, they curse Christians, they curse the Bible, they curse righteousness, and don't realize that these are the steps that cursed you in the first place. So when it comes to curses or spiritual curses upon people, you cannot break that curse. There's no way that you can bless a person that's cursed. And unfortunately, you have people, but then again, if a person is blessed by the Most High, and if you're in the will of the Most High, then you know that there's certain things that you're not supposed to touch. The moment you acknowledge or notice that this person is potentially cursed, your obligation, your responsibility is to back away from that person. Because that person is not of the Most High. That person have to repent for the evil deeds that they have done. So there are so many young black men and so many young black women that find themselves in relationships and marriages of cursed people or with cursed people. There are so many young dudes, man, that's with these females that can't contribute nothing but sex. But in that relationship is violence. She's hostile, violent. She don't contribute nothing to the bills. You allow her to drive your car. She crashed your car 3 or 4 times. And then you realize after a while now you're in debt because the money that you have to put forward, man, to get your vehicle fixed, get it towed, or what have you, right? She's fighting you. She's having you locked up in jail. You're now on child support. You're enriching her house. And it's like the more money you spend on this person, the more money you try to help this person, it's almost like this person's got holes in their pockets. There's holes in their spiritual pockets. Because the more you invest in that person, the more that person lacks and the more that person wants. And then you notice the less you begin to start having because now you've become a victim of that curse. You've become a partaker of that curse. of the individual that you're trying to help. So there's so many young black men that's in relationships, and I'm not going to even put a color on it. There are so many young people that's in cursed relationships that's not ordained by the Most High, whether you believe in it or not. You're with a cursed person. Their life is going nowhere. And you're doing everything in your power to help them, even if you help them to find a job. For some reason, the job does not last. They can't hold on to a job. Their own family members want nothing to do with them. They put them out. And especially if you're a female, if you're with a female that lost her kids, she can't even keep her own children. She don't know how to mother her own child. And then you come along, and because of her beauty, because of the fact that she may have a fat behind or a pretty smile or what have you, now she's pregnant by you. And you didn't give second thought to the fact that she lost her 3 or 4 other kids to her 3 or 4 other baby daddies. So there are so many young people that's caught up in curses, man. And if you want to know why your life is going the way it is, look at the people that you surround yourself with. Look at the relationship, the unproductive, toxic relationship that you're in. You're not happy. You know you're not happy. But for some reason, you find it extremely difficult to leave that situation. Although you are the one that's the breadwinner. You're providing, you keeping this person afloat. You have this person living in your house. You have this person driving your vehicle. Just laying around doing nothing. A bum. But yet you allow it. And the only way you're going to relieve yourself from that curse is for you to walk away, to run away as fast as you can from that cursed relationship, from that cursed individual. Because if you're with a female that's cursed, young men, and she lost her other children to the system or to their baby daddy, and she's pregnant or she had a child by you, and now you're enriching her life, if she play her cards right, you will begin to pay child support to her. Although she's not fit to even be a mother. And now you're at her mercy. Your blessings now have become her blessing, but yet she's still cursed. And the only way she can stay afloat is to keep you ensnared. See, curses are, what's the term? Curses are like viruses. See, now how you can pass viruses from one person to another? That's the way it is with curses. Curses are contagious. See, so although you're doing well in life, once you link up with that cursed individual, you become one with that cursed individual, then what you looked at as blessings now become your curse. You now begin to start taking on their curses because now you're more stressed, you're unhappy, the person is violent. Now you become violent, especially if you have one of these females that for some reason she get off on you playing a tough role, you playing a thug, and you know you're not a thug. But yet now you're ready to fight every individual that look at her wrong, or that even look at her, or that she played a victim, and next thing you know, she gets you caught up in a situation where you lose your freedom, or you lose your life. See, that's a curse. So if you're in a relationship where it's violent, she's not contributing nothing, you're dishing out more money because you're constantly getting your car fixed or getting a new vehicle because you allow her to drive it and she crashes it. She's not buying no food. She's not even cleaning up around the house. You're whipped. And now you're caught up in her snares, her witchery. So there's a lot of dudes like that, man. They caught up in relationships like that, man. The females tell them straight up that they're just a toy to them. They tell them straight up that they don't like them. But the dude is whipped. And you stay there just because she's light-skinned, right? Or whatever. But when it comes to relationships and marriages, that's why we find so many relationships and marriages are dysfunctional, because one or the other person in that relationship or marriage is cursed. And you cannot save a cursed person. I don't care how many spells that you conjure up, you cannot bless a cursed person. So the best thing for you to do to save yourself and your children, if you have children and you're in a toxic, cursed relationship, in order for you to save yourself and your children, and this is going out to a man or a woman, because both men and women can be in cursed relationships with cursed people. So you have to now run for your life from that toxicity. My tongue get tied. You know what I'm saying. You have to run from that toxic relationship. You need to get rid of that cursed individual. And I'm going to end on this note. It's like Jonah. When the Most High unctioned him to go to Nineveh, Jonah started thinking about the cost that he'd have to pay. He started thinking ahead, the things that he might have to endure and how people won't listen to him. So he decided to run. And in running, he entered this ship, and he was in the bottom of the boat, asleep. Well, the people of that ship had no idea Jonah was there until storms started brewing. And they noticed that this is something that don't really happen. This is a rare occurrence, so we're about to perish here. So they start calling upon their God for help. Well, long story short, come to find out, they found Jonah sleeping in the bottom of the ship. And they wanted to know, what did you do to anger your God so much? And they end up throwing Jonah at his request overboard. And then in that point, Jonah was swallowed by the whale. Right? And I know that these people may have their views and opinions on that, but he was swallowed by a big fish. So in saying that, these people that had that blessed man upon the ship that was running, there's no way you can run from the Most High. You can't do it. So you may be living a cursed life, and you try to run by linking up with someone that appears to be blessed, someone that have, be it male or female. And you figure, now I'm living in their house, I'm not paying no rent, and all I got to do is just may take out the garbage or cut the grass, and everything is going to be all right. I got a place to stay, I got food to eat, and then I can make love to this woman. I can have sex with this woman. But you don't realize that by you being there, just by you being in that home, now the curses that's upon you is now going to affect that woman and her children. And there's going to come a time when her meal barrel will run dry because you're soaking in her blessings. She's trying to help someone that's cursed, and she herself end up in a cursed situation. But she have to do what them people did on that ship with Jonah and throw you overboard. You need to throw that cursed person overboard to save yourself and to save your children. So, feedback, tell me what you think, subscribe, click on the Cash App, and donate to the channel. Till next time, I'm fearless.